I'm home. I'm back in my back in the old saddle.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's good.
How
It's good
was
to be home.
Florida?
It was terrible. It was terrible. It was hurricane winds, and every place I turned, it was a crime scene. I love you, Florida.
Oh, sorry, Florida.
Yeah, the flight back was better, and then I didn't have the guy
The
guy with the vomit on the plane coming back. That was good. There's a big guy sitting next to me, so I spent most of the time leaning into the aisle, which means every time anyone walks by, they hit you in the head real hard with their elbow.
Oh, that's the worst.
Or
you get hit by the cart or whatever.
But this is it's a first world problems thing, right? Like I have so little room to. Can I read you?
And then the Wi-Fi wasn't working in the plane.
I know, right? I have you seen did I share with you the first world problems thing picture I took?
I don't think so.
I didn't share with you guys. It's too funny. Let me look it up here because it's. I'm going to share some first world problems with you. Are you ready for this? Sure. First world problems. My hand is too fat to shove into the Pringles container, so I am forced to tilt it.
Or cut it open.
Here's another one. I didn't have a crappy childhood, so I can't turn my pain into art. I had too much food for lunch, and now I am tired. These are awful. I forgot to bring my phone with me when I went to poop, and I was bored the whole time. Please. I'm kind of hungry, but my roommate has guests over, so if I go into the kitchen, I'm going to have to introduce myself. I have to find my own girlfriend because my culture doesn't practice arranged marriages. Accidentally clicked iTunes and had to wait 2 minutes for it to open before I could close it again.
Now, where did you find this?
It was
made it up.
No, it was a poster. I took a picture of it as a poster.
That's awesome.
I did. There was no credit. It was just somebody had like copied it, and it was an old photocopy, and somebody had it. It was like on the bathroom wall or something. My GPS made me drive through the ghetto. Oh, that's awful. I'm trying to text while at a red light, but I keep making all the greens. I can't hear the TV while I'm eating crunchy snacks. Nice. Okay, there's only 2 more. The Domino's pizza tracker isn't working, and so now I don't know when to put my pants on.
Gross.
This one's my favorite. My laptop is low on battery, but the charger is over there.
That is good.
I mean, I think I've got 6 out of 10 of those. And the reason this came up is because I was in Florida and I had just it was kind of the afternoon before the big wedding, and so people went back to the rooms to get ready, and I hadn't shaved in a couple of days, so I was shaving. But I have the rich facial hair, and so if I go a couple of days, it takes me a while to chisel that crap off my face. And so I had stopped halfway through because I got tired. And a buddy of mine called and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I went in to shave, but I got tired, so I took a nap."
You took a nap.
I laid down and went to sleep for an hour with a half-shaved face. That's how that came up.
My favorite thing about Peter is that one time for a party, he shaved a little Hitler mustache into his
Who
face.
did?
Peter, because it was a costume party.
No, it was a costume. You got to tell the whole thing. I don't just do this for fun.
It was like a murder mystery costume party, and so Peter, you must have had a full beard or a goatee at that time.
I
right?
did. I had the goatee.
And he showed up with this little teeny tiny little Hitler stash, and then the next day I've got a great picture of him playing Guitar Hero, just with his hair standing on end, with his Hitler mustache still on.
Well, that is good.
That's true. That did happen. That happened.
I have evidence.
It's not appropriate to do that, and
it's
culturally disrespectful, and
it's true, but it was funny.
It's not appropriate. What about you? I've been talking too long. What do you guys got going on this week?
Well, I wanted to talk about my favorite new brand.
Oh, excellent!
Wow! Oh, I had forgotten why we were here.
Or we can just talk about our weekend.
I'd like to hear more about how you shave.
I did shave this morning, actually. I've discovered this new brand through Facebook ads. It's so one of the Facebook ads that I click on is from this company called Beta Brand. Has anyone heard of Beta Brand?
No.
Beta brand, like
The-
BETA.
Uh-huh. Yeah. But one word, I guess. So two different ads. They it's mostly clothing, but there's two different ads that drew me in separately. One was their disco pants, which are these like shiny silver. I think they're like $100, but you
At
gotta check
last,
them out. Oh my gosh.
light dispersing pants.
Oh, they are so good.
Oh
the-
man.
And the one that pulled me in yesterday is the Vagisoft blanket by their
Oh.
by Vagilabs.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the
Is this
Vagisoft.
appropriate for families?
Oh yeah, it's a soft.
Do families listen to this show?
They said that once upon a time, it was universally thought that the softest thing was a baby's bottom, but that's not the case.
Oh. Oh dear.
The Vagisoft, and so I've been on their site today, and I found these pants I got to have. They're called the sloth pants, optimally designed for inactivity. It got like a remote control pocket, a pocket for your remote.
The pictures are hysterical. The website there's a picture of a guy.
What's the website?
It's betabrand.com. Picture of a guy on in the middle of a golf course. It actually looks like you, Dane.
Oh,
In a red golf with a hat like you wear, like a what is that hat you wear? You got that hat. Makes you look all classy, like Mad Men classy. That's called something, right? You wear that hat, but he's wearing the light dispersing pants, but he's on a toilet in the middle of the he's got his pants or his light dispersing pants are down and he's on the toilet.
Where is that one?
It's on the Disco Pants. If you scroll down on the Disco Pants,
I'm kind of hung up on the broken tooth Sons of Britches picture.
right.
oh my goodness.
Yeah, these guys are great.
Wow.
That is really funny.
Raw denim for stuntmen.
And none of this stuff is cheap. Like these are
That is hysterical.
they've got the USA pants.
Disco sport shorts. Oh, Dane, you must have those.
Oh,
I cannot believe those are
man.
$60. You've got to be kidding me. But that is disco pants collections.
I love that they have this whole line of like stunts that they do in the stunt Sons of Britches pant collection. And there's a guy on a skateboard going down a hill in San Francisco, and he runs into a passing streetcar, and they both explode. It's fantastic. Like
That's
this is
pretty
hysterical.
funny.
And how about the ho horrible
Nauseating holiday pants
nauseating holiday pants?
What are those? I haven't seen
under
those.
holiday deals.
$80.
Holidays.
Yeah, yeah. They used to be 90.
So what do you like about this brand so much, Dane?
They're just hilarious. And again, so
I mean, they advertised on Facebook and that it was on
Yeah.
your page, not Peter's.
yeah, they keep showing up on my Facebook page, and I totally clicked on the disco pants.
Of course you did.
Which was, I don't know, like a month or so ago. And then yesterday, of course, the Vagisoft. I mean, that's just, and so now, yeah, they're just, everything is just funny about this website. I love this stuff.
Wow.
And you got to wonder how much stuff they're selling. I mean, disco pants, sloth pants, nauseating holiday pants. And again, from basically everything on here is from $50 to $100, other than, I don't know what the Vagisoft costs, but. So yeah, $80 for your nauseating holiday pants.
That's really funny.
But I get the biggest kick out of their sense of humor.
They have a graph. Their softometer. This
Right.
is really
Soft.
not good. Baby Spice's bottom is less soft than an actual baby's bottom. Soft
Right.
serve cashmere is still softer. The cotton fields of heaven, a freshly laundered bunny, the pouch of a cloud kangaroo. The only thing that apparently is softer than the Vagisoft blanket is the womb of a marshmallow mermaid.
That's actually, you know what? I was looking for a blanket for Ted, and I'm not being facetious at all. Maybe I'll get him one of these because
You
seriously,
absolutely should.
Oh, and
How funny
you've got to see the little video of
There's a video of the. Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah. No, they do all their own little
These
ads here.
actually look
It's
pretty like pretty nice blankets, I have to say.
super soft. Yeah, seriously, you got to watch. There's a little video. It's like 30 seconds long or something, but
Okay.
it's
Wait.
it-
Have you gone have you gone to the little pictures of the blanket? And there's one in a woman with this like romantic scene with the blanket wrapped around her, except she's holding guacamole and chips.
yes, I love that. Yeah, supposed to be like your dream
Oh
girl.
my gosh.
My
Oh,
dream girl in a Vagisoft blanket with chips and guacamole,
What?
that
inviting me to bed.
is so
Oh
funny.
my gosh.
But the little video is of a man in bed, like
Oh, I see it.
caressing the blanket, and his wife catches him and he throws the blanket away. Like, I wasn't doing anything. Honey, it looked like you were
I'm
cuddling with
totally
that
getting
blanket.
one of these. For
I want one of these. I need you to.
I'm
I
gonna
need you
tell
to
your wife.
tell my wife to surprise me. I like it. There's the whole. There one where the couple. It's like Pippi Longstocking and and her boyfriend are on the
Riding the
Vagisoft blanket riding the magic carpet. God, you're totally right. The guacamole and chips one is
That is
priceless.
hysterical. But you know what? Maybe I'll take a picture of myself with guacamole and chips.
That is, you should totally do that.
And then there's the guy at the coffee shop. Looks like he's having a horrible day, wrapped in a Vagisoft blanket.
Oh, I know. These are fantastic.
That's really funny.
Wow. Okay. This is
Anyway.
such a great brand. What? So, man, they've got almost what is it? 9,000, just over 9,000 likes on Facebook. I wonder if that gets him, if that works for him.
I'm
Well, yeah,
thinking so
because
because we're sitting here talking about it, and that's how Dane found them.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, as far
I'm
as I
always
can tell-
surprised when Dane says he clicks on ads because I don't click on ads on Facebook, and yet I place them. Like,
I only do if I'm like for work, if I'm looking at something else.
yeah.
So Dane, I think here's an assignment for you. I think you should contact these guys and see if you can get them on the show. Because seriously, how funny would that be?
Good idea. Note to self. Okay.
Dane's not going to do that. He's
I
going
know.
to forget. Look, watch. Wait, just a second. Dane, what did Megan just ask you to do?
Huh?
Gone.
Oh my gosh.
Good.
Okay,
Right.
I want to talk about a little bit more serious campaign.
All right.
All right.
Bring
And
it.
it's going to make you a little cranky because it's about cause, but at the same time, it is also includes augmented reality. So I'm going to ask you to
Uh-oh.
pretend that you're interested in this so I can get to the augmented reality part.
Well, I think we've proven time and again that both Dane and I are big fans of Cause
Right.
and augmented reality. How could this go wrong?
Right.
Well, and you have children, so this campaign will be of interest to you, and you've probably already seen it. So every year, well, for the past 4 years, Macy's has done a campaign called Believe, and it's based off of that, yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus, and they wrap this entire campaign around Believe, and they have mailboxes, Santa mailboxes at Macy's stores where you can come in with your kids and have them deposit their letters to Santa, and they make $1 donation to the Make-A-Wish Foundation up to $1 million, and they typically, max that out really, really easily. So this year they're doing that again, and they're also, when you go to Macy's, if you download I don't know if it's a Macy's app or something, some other related, like a Believe app, you can deposit your letter and then stand in this area and hold your smartphone or your iPad up with the app loaded, and these little characters come to life around your kids and you can take pictures. It's really, really cute. So Friday is National Believe Day, and they're actually doubling their donation. So you guys should take your kids to Macy's on Friday and have fun with this campaign and play with augmented reality. See, it's like a toy for the adults too.
That's really cool. There's a little video.
Yeah, it's
so
a sweet little
sick.
video.
So sick of ads. I bring up YouTube and there's an ad for cashmere and costume jewelry. Costume jewelry.
Sweet.
All right, here it is. Oh, it's a CBS thing. All right, I'm watching CBS.
Don't watch CBS. They have actually a little.
Here it is.
It's an
there it is.
animated. Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus video.
So
and
it's
the
just like the
character
thing you
that-
guys. So somehow this is more interesting to you than my one that I talked about 2 weeks ago. So that's
Well,
sort of
this one has a
notwithstanding.
cause.
This is has cause.
It's really cool. I just thought you might be interested in
I
it.
am super interested. I'm looking at them actually doing the character thing.
I know, isn't it cute?
It's so cute.
Totally going on Friday.
That's fantastic.
Isn't it cute? Dane, got to take your kids to Macy's. Do you have Macy's in Utah?
We do.
Do you have Macy's in
I-
Utah?
I don't. I'm
Well,
not.
they we didn't used to, but they bought ZCMI, which used to be a Utah equivalent until
I
they
don't
were
think they
bought
bought
by
it.
Macy's.
In our area.
Hmm. I'm pretty
So anyway,
excited
that's
about
my
this.
campaign. I think it's actually pretty cool, and it gets a ton. It's a very smart marketing campaign because not only do they raise a lot of money for a really great cause, they get people into their stores, which is always brilliant.
Right, right. I think
And
that's
the points.
fantastic. I think it's fantastic.
Thank you, Dane. Do you have anything to poke fun at?
Well, speaking of ads, how do you guys feel? So Pete was just trying to access information on this, and I'm assuming Pete, you were it was like a 30-second ad that you had to watch before you got to it.
Yeah, the pre-roll on YouTube, pre-roll ad.
Right. Well, should those be 30 seconds long?
I don't think so. Aren't they shorter?
Well, I mean, Hulu is usually about 30 seconds, right?
Yeah,
Or
and now they're
sometimes it's just
doubling
sponsored by-
up. Yeah. Sometimes on the shorter broadcasts, they'll do a sponsored by.
Yeah.
But if it's a half hour or longer than and now I've seen the we're getting to doubling up ads. So now I'm seeing 2 ads in the ad break on Hulu, and they're each 30 seconds or 30,
I mean, what
30 and a
I
15.
mean, what's your opinion? I mean, if I watch a clip, or if there's a clip I want to access, or I've clicked on a link or something, and I'm forced to watch a 30-second spot before I get to it, and then let's say I click on something else within that same network or whatever, and I'm forced again. I mean, is 30 seconds too long? What's your opinion on the effectiveness of the ads? Because, and I understand. I don't know if this is still true, but I think for a time anyway, Hulu was getting more money per spot than NBC was on average. Is that
Wow.
Did I get
have
that
not
right?
Read that.
that was like a year ago, but I think they were doing really well selling ad spots on Hulu. But I am always so annoyed, and I'm just thinking about how Pete was just like, ads, I hate this. Is it
Well,
just,
no,
is it
here's
too
the thing.
long? What do you
No,
think?
let me tell you, I think, wow, Hulu is an interesting example, and we kind of have to take that one apart because I think their model is, I don't want to say better because it's this, same thing, but for some reason, I sit through the ads on Hulu. Is that weird?
Okay.
Like I don't like get up and
Because
go
you
do
feel
other stuff.
obligated.
No, I'm not thinking about obligation at all. I mean, maybe I feel that way. I don't really know it, but the other piece is they have their relevance switch, which I always click. If an ad comes up that is not relevant to me, I click it. And I say, no, this isn't relevant.
I didn't know
And
they
so
had a
the
relevance
ads-
switch.
Well, it's not offered on the iPhone or iPad, I'm
Oh,
assuming
okay.
Android. But on the web, if you're watching stuff on the web, there's occasionally it'll come up and say, is this ad relevant to you? And I always say yes or no. And if it's a game, if it's some entertainment, something, comedies, whatever, I click yes. If it's costume jewelry from Kmart, I click no. And now my ads are pretty good. I'm getting good ads. I'm getting, this was one of the brands I wanted to talk about. Was Old Spice is back, and Isaiah Mustafa is back doing holiday ads now, and they're running on Hulu, and they're great. It's just good to see him again. I've missed him. So Hulu is an interesting one. I'm not pained by the ads. The thing that bugs me about YouTube is generally the ads are not relevant to me.
Okay.
Kmart custom jewelry, I get frustrated because it's not relevant
Right.
to me at all. And
Well,
and the
although
thing that is frustrating is that I'm
might
logged
be.
in. I'm a logged in user, and Google knows a lot about me.
Oh, that's true.
They should know better than this. They should know better than what they're doing. If they have so much great information, I don't want to see Kmart ads.
And can I just say what you're saying right now? I have been on and off teaching, marketing for a while, and I know you do, Pete. And this is one of those things that I just remember. Well, I remember being a marketing student, or like I remember the early days of targeted ads like this, and having the conversation or talking about how we would find ourselves at some point demanding that ads be relevant to us, where initially it was kind of a novelty to even be able to, well, I mean, obviously, soap operas had a certain kind of ad, and you kind of have an expectation when you're watching TV certain times of the day. Gee, why would they be showing this at this time? So we've always sort of had somewhat of a relative expectation that the ads would be, I guess, relevant to the medium or the show or the magazine, but to be at the point where you're clicking through YouTube and you're saying Google should know better, why aren't these ads relevant to me, is kind of an amazing thing when you think about it. Isn't it?
Yes.
It's truly amazing.
Well, it is amazing, and it's amazing because there are other things they should know about that whole experience, right? I'm going to YouTube to watch an ad, and they're putting an ad on the front of it.
That's actually a
right.
good point. But they probably can't. They probably are not differentiating between an ad, original content that Macy's is uploading and, a commercial that they're uploading.
And yet they have the tools to be able to do that. Like they absolutely have the tool to be able to do that.
That does seem silly that they
that's an
ad
itch.
ad.
I would be surprised if they're not actually, working on this somehow, because, ads and ads and ad. It would be interesting to see some sort of a model in there. But I find that frustrating. I think and I go back and forth. I'm sort of ambivalent on or not ambivalent. I'm of two minds on the whole thing. One, because I've accepted the fact that we live in this sort of data-centric world, right, where I know these services that I use for free know a lot about me. I'm sort of okay with it, and so the level of my expectation goes up. Right, I have greater demands of relevance in my life. If you're going to get my attention, then you better do it, in a way that I appreciate. And then what do you guys, have you guys read up on this carrier IQ mess?
No.
It's an interesting thing that has come of light over the last, 10 days. I think it's gotten kind of hot. So Carrier IQ is a company that is a provider to cell carriers, right? To AT&T, Sprint, Verizon, whatever. And they have an application that they give to these carriers and that the carriers install on their devices, on their handsets. And this application, the Carrier IQ service, is constantly running in the background on your cell phone.
Oh, right.
And it is a system status monitor, fine. It is also a key logger. You familiar with what the key logger is?
Where it records your keystrokes?
Yes. It records your keystrokes. Every action on the phone is recorded and logged. Now, when this sort of jumped out, there was a security researcher who was just kind of trying to figure out. He saw a bunch of data coming out of his corporate network that he runs. And he said, I wonder where all this data is coming from. Turns out it was from the mobile phones deployed. And so he looked at what specifically was causing this to happen. And it was Carrier IQ. It was constantly sending data back to the mothership, the carrier. And so he ran some tests on it and discovered and ran a test where he was typing on his phone and able to see the log in real time, logging his keystrokes. And so which in some degrees is okay. I mean, I get that. And there is a case to be made for the carriers having a rich data set of use so that they can, for quality of service, they can make there is a case to be made. But in this case, it was going so far that it was logging, for example, HTTPS, like secured websites, before the secure connection was made, right? So, you know,
that's not good.
So you could see every website you visited, even if it was secured, it was being logged in Carrier IQ, and so that started making me think about, you know, advertising. Now, as it happens, the way the story is played out, Carrier IQ says, you know, we don't actually collect any data on you at all. We are a service to the carriers. They're the ones who are collecting data if they choose to use our service. A lot of the carriers have come out and are you know, trying to offset this, you know, the impact of this as now mainstream media is jumping on, and they're saying, you know, we don't collect things like your HTTPS, you know, browsing history. We don't collect. We're really only collecting quality of service. Apple has said, you know, on all of our iOS 5 devices, we have stopped using Carrier IQ, and you know, we are removing Carrier IQ from all of iOS 4. So this was prior to in the next software update. So this was all prior to the blow up. But it makes me think about the data that is collected in my life that we don't know about. Right? And what is that being used for? What are the carriers using that for? They have a lot of information on me. And if you think that, you know, if you go back to the days when, and it's still the days when, you know, you sign up for a magazine, you subscribe to a magazine, and your, you know, personal address and phone information gets sold, you know, as part of a batch list. This is an even a more significant sort of invasion. Is that okay? Is it okay to see that information out there? I mean, how do you feel about it?
I think it's scary.
Yeah, it's nothing but scary.
Who swears that LinkedIn pilfers goes far beyond, you know, your past employment histories and goes into your address book without your permission and pulls contacts, because he said, you know, I've had some people show up as recommended friends or links or whatever they're calling them, that there is no possible way they would be able to gather just based on my, you know, what I've put in my LinkedIn profile.
It's actually, I think, something that happens when you first sign up for LinkedIn. You are asked if you want to give them access to your Gmail.
Yeah.
Gmail.
Just to connect your contacts.
Yeah, maybe he did that, and he did.
I think, yeah, and I guess the thing about that is, I'm remembering this now because I think that same sort of thing has happened to me. It's an option, I believe. I mean, so I signed up. It was a few years ago, obviously, but I remember that. I remember them, you know, saying they wanted to access like various. I think they had all kinds of options, like, hey, we'd like to access everything. Click what you want us to have access to. And I don't remember if I said yes or not, but the assumption that I remember making was that would be this one-time deal, that they would sort of check it and then recommend that I try to hook up with with people. And I think it's very possible that is access they permanently have.
Yeah, they keep doing it forever and ever.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I didn't even think about that until you said it.
I'm looking. I have a feeling it is part of the terms of service. That says if you're going to connect and you want to connect your address book, then we're going to be able to use. Yeah, I mean, we're going to be able to use it as long as you're a customer of LinkedIn. We're going to be able to make new connections for you based on this data. I have no doubt that that's in there somewhere. I mean, the terms of service, terms of use is it'd be in the privacy policy, and it's not a short document, but. You have the right to access, modify, correct, and eliminate the data you supply if you update any information. We may keep a copy of that information that you originally provided to us in our archives for use as documented in this policy. You have to contact LinkedIn customer service to request a deletion. We'll do that within 30 days. I mean, it really is very much in favor of LinkedIn. This is long. But all of the language in here is all, in the LinkedIn terms of service is all about, you put data in, we're going to use it the way that makes sense to the service. And that's, you kind of agree to that. How often do you read it? I know I did, and I get connections all the time just like that. And I'm always leery when somebody says there's no possible way, when in fact there are a lot of possible ways, as we're discussing.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
But
sort of seems like a conspiracy theory, but in fact, it's real.
In fact, it's no more a conspiracy theory than just read the terms of service. Take the 64 pages and see what they're using of you. Man, I got totally derailed. I had a point. I'm sure it was going to be a really good one.
Well, you were just talking about, is this okay that they're, taking information that you probably don't know that they are? And I think the assumption is that that is fact and truth about the environment in which we live. Is it okay? No.
Yeah.
But it happens all the time. And by virtue of us doing all these cloud-based things and using all these devices, it's a risk.
Well, and what is the sort of obligation that these services have to customers? I think about a service like Dropbox, for example. I mean, we see their marketing language and we, love their service. I love their service. It makes a great sort of add-on to every device that I have. What is their obligation to the balance of, having access to stuff that is very personal to me and not using that for evil?
What is their obligation? Well, I think this is the litmus test. If whatever they're doing someday becomes public, then they should be doing whatever they would want the public to know about. So I think if they know they're doing X, but not, maybe they're fully disclosing it, quote unquote, within their terms of use or whatever that nobody reads. But if they're doing that, then they should be able to say, and here's why we're doing it, but we do X, but not Y. If it should ever become public, as in the front page of the New York Times, they should feel confident that what they're doing is on the up and up. That to me is a litmus test.
Dane, what was you said something there. You said answered the question really quickly. What is their obligation? You said
no, I didn't.
You said none. That's what you said. I have it on record.
No, but I gotta say, when we start talking about this, I mean, you immediately start thinking Big Brother in 1984. But the more you think about it, the more it's more like a Brave New World. In that, I think part of the theme of the Brave New World, Aldous Huxley, that this sort of Big Brother society is not one that was necessarily imposed, but was invited. I mean, in that book, everyone was taking soma and everyone was just sort of happy and everyone was just complacent and sort of okay with the state that the culture, I guess, had arrived at, which was one they didn't really have much control over. I'm sort of reminded of that when, this privacy sort of is eroding. And when you ask the question, what's their obligation? And I think the average person would just sort of be like, huh? And I also think it's in some ways generational, that people over 50 or 40 are more inclined to probably freak out about it. And people, in their 20s are probably just, that's sort of the world they grew up in, more or less, I would think. It's so scary in that way.
It's an interesting thing. So in this vein, did you happen to catch Mark Zuckerberg's latest missive on the blog? Right.
The accessed photos that were in his Facebook archive.
No, this was maybe that was it. He posted a long post called "Our Commitment to the Facebook Community," and it was really long. It was like I'm guilty kind of long. Wow. Really long. It talked about changes in the organization, about who is going to be running privacy. There are now 2 chief privacy officers at the company, one to handle, quote, policy, the other to handle, quote, products. And it was all to strengthen processes that ensure privacy control is built into our products. Well, one of the things he mentions in here, I think, is a really, it's kind of a hidden point, but it's a big one. Do you remember Beacon?
No.
Dane, you have to remember Beacon, right? It was 4 years ago.
You're going to have to remind me.
4 years ago, it was Facebook's advertising program. It was Facebook's sort of one of the early ventures into advertising, where it was using your personal data to show you advertisements on your page. And it gave you a very difficult way to opt out, like a really opaque way to opt out. And it was a big deal. People went crazy. That was one of the first first sort of reactionary events where the user community and the media jumped on and said, Facebook, you have to find a way to be more transparent and get rid of this beacon thing. And so in this blog post, he says, overall, I think we have a good history of providing transparency and control over who can see your information. That said, I'm the first to admit that we have made a bunch of mistakes. In particular, I think that a small number of high-profile mistakes, like Beacon 4 years ago, and poor execution as we transitioned our privacy model 2 years ago, have often overshadowed much of the good work that we've done. Right. May be true, but the last part, I think it was his point that people have gotten so upset about privacy that, they've forgotten how, great Facebook is, allegedly. I'm interested that he now reflects on Beacon as a mistake.
That is interesting. Wow. That's
when
interesting.
When that's what we're talking about today,
He's
having
older
responsibility
now,
for.
He's got some wisdom now. He's 27 now?
Yeah, right.
So he's all wise.
That's right. That's what he is. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah. Well, he, I guess it's a side note that he had his photos accessed. I guess there was nothing embarrassing, so that's good.
Is this a recent thing?
No, this was
this was the bug.
Last.
The bug that they found a bug. I think they fixed it. It was a bug that allows the world to see your private photos. It just was a mismatched privacy setting, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's so interesting about that, and I think to his point, they have Facebook is built on a foundation of complexity. As simple as you kind of try to make Facebook, it's designed to make sharing, difficult to wrap your head around. I would say largely so that they can get more people, using the service and not thinking about it. I don't know. Maybe I'm off my rocker. Dane, you got to go. Is that it? You're just done?
I got to run. Got a little Christmas program. I wanted to, the kids in their preschool.
Oh, you got a thing. Yeah, you got to see the kids.
It's going to be cute. I want to leave though with this little parting thing from Beta Brands, the disco shorts, for $60. And they've just got a little. So I want to, since I have to leave, I'm going to leave with this. There's a couple of bullet points here that if you answer yes to any of these bullet points, that disco shorts are right for you. I just wanted to read a couple of them. Does the name of your softball team involve a high level of sexual innuendo? Is your kickball team T-shirt highly inappropriate for family gatherings? Have you ever forgotten your disc golf score due to six-pack amnesia? Have you run a dozen beta breaker races but never finished? Do elderly passerbyers, I guess, wonder aloud what the hell it is with you and your fellow hashers are doing? Something like that. I misread that. Are the end zones of your flag football field marked by beer bottles and articles of clothing? Anyway, these guys are...
I love the last picture is the guy is actually jumping. He's in a parachute in his disco shorts.
So, well, I just want to tell you that I did actually order that blanket. And
You did?
I did, and I got an email that said, want to be a model for Beta Brands? Upload a picture of yourself with your new Beta Brand wear, and poof, you're an instant internet star or something like that. I'm paraphrasing.
Well, they have a...
You're an internet fashion sensation. So, they have actually... Oh, there's a model citizen section. That's actually really cool.
That's really cool.
I think there's an iPhone app that is meant to just sort of facilitate that. So you use the app, I believe. I haven't used it, but this is what it looks like. You use the app to take the picture of you in the product, and it sort of instantly, gets kicked over to a Beta Brand. And anyway, I haven't used it, so I don't know what permissions are involved there. But isn't that great? I think that is great. That's great.
I want sloth pants and blanket.
and you got to look out the karate pants too. Those are pretty awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, I got to run.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
See you guys.
Bye, Danny.
What do you got? Anything else? You done?
Dude, I came to the table with my campaign.
You totally did. You did. You did good work.
It.
You brought it. You done got. All right. Well, I'm glad you bought the jacket. That excites
The blanket.
The blanket. I mean, yeah. They have USA sloth pants. Oh, those are so great.
Excited.
All right. Well, I actually I don't have anything else.
Well, it'll just be a shortish show. It
I know,
actually
this is
wasn't even
good.
that short.
No, it was good. We
40
rambled.
minutes is not that short. We
Rambled for a good long
40
time.
minutes. That's right.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. So, any big events coming up this week that we should be aware of?
Events this week. Nope,
There's
just
no-
the Macy's. Go to Macy's on Friday, December
All right.
9th.
Macy's on Friday.
National Believe Day.
Go to Beta Brands. Share it like crazy. These people need to be shared.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. Hey, good talking to you.
You too. I'll see you soon.
Catch you later.
All right, bye.